Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Tuesday, July 26. So this particular pattern that I've got here in terms of this line coming up to here and then a correction here and then another move up here and then a move down is in line with the US market. So we can follow them, we can do our own thing as well, so we need to be a little bit mindful of those two things. We've had this move up here, this A, B, C here as a wave 4, so I'm just going to leave it there for the time being because it could ring true that we have a move down through here and we'll just need to monitor that, but otherwise an A and a B and a C. So in the bigger picture we'll just look at these as an A and a 4. They both produce much the same result in a move to the downside. As a wave 4 here, the 38.2% retracement level is roughly where that wave A is, so being in here, we can also see this trend line through here too, really sort of, you know, jamming it up in that regard there as well. In fact, when we have a look at this trend here, we can see the trend is really sort of starting to struggle a little bit. The number 6,800, not so much the 6,000, but the 800 is important. Well, you can see that it's important from over here. We normally call it a profit-taking number. So it carries a lot of weight. It's the third strongest number, 1, 5 and 8 and then 3, so it carries a fair bit of weight. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it develops support or resistance at that point. And normally you just need to be patient and allow it to do its thing, and then once the battle, you know, the 800 is the line in the sand and that's the front line, and the battle will either end up being sitting on that level or not. So that's the reality of it, and patience will give you that. At the same time, if we look at the trend to the upside, we can kind of see, you can see how it's moving up here. It moved along quite nicely here, and now in this last little section here, it's kind of tiring out a little bit. It's struggling. It's, well, I call it like it's creeping to the upside, and you're getting overlapping wave structures, which is a sign of weakness. But remember, it's hitting that trend coming through over here as well, so we just need to keep a bit of an eye on that. So it's likely at some point here that we're going to get a correction. Now we're looking at corrections in the US market. I won't bring the US markets up, but have a look at the video for that. We're looking at a possible top being in place, or a possible one more little push up, and then we start this ABC pattern through here. So it's not really good trading in this little area through here. Yeah, so the markets that will probably, you know, we've got the energy market pushing up. You know, there's good reason for that, and I'll talk about that when I get to the energy sector with Nord 2 and the Russians and the Europeans and so on. But we've got gold going down, we've got energy going up. The banks, I will get to the banks in a moment. Yesterday we looked at, was it ANZ or no? Westpac into like a bigger triangle pattern working in threes. So well, CBA we normally look at, which, you know, 9 or 10% of this particular index, so that's why I just sort of focus on that. But I will, over the weeks ahead, look at that bigger triangle pattern that we looked at yesterday, and see how we can incorporate that into this market as well. So yeah, but anyway, let's just cruise in. I won't go to the hourly, I'll just go to the 100 ticks, and actually I will, because I think that I had one count to the upside here. That, so from this low here, just another way to count it as 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for third wave, fourth wave, and then 1 and 2 struggling into 3 and 4. Now I don't know whether to put 4 here or over here. That's the bottom line for this. I don't. Yesterday we looked at an impulse wave down here. The US market had an impulse wave. We haven't taken out the top here, but it's kind of sitting on the, you know, it's kind of like, I would just naturally trade long above that high there. That's what that's telling me, because it's sitting, you know, it was resistance and now it's sitting on support. So buying the new high is the safe trade. The stochastics is pulling back for the 1 hour, so that's a kind of a good sign. It may or may not take the top out there, and it may not go very far as well. So that's the other thing too. That could just be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this. If wave 4 is going to go here, then that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it may not go very far either. It might just go up to here and finish that top off, and and then start its larger correction to the downside. So I won't put that in there, but if you see that taken out, you may want to push a few buttons and get involved, but don't overdo it, because in this trend here, we're at the end of the trend. We're not at the beginning or in the middle of it or anything. So it's dangerous to do anything here. So straight away half, quarter your position sizes, in that regard. The 100 tick area. So I don't really have any trades here for us on this, and I do suggest watching the US markets, and because I've got a couple of accounts going on there. I know a couple of accounts are annoying, but I do need to work through them. So on the US markets, we had a beautiful 5 waves down here. So I was just assuming we had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Third wave a little bit short, but it's longer than wave 1. It's doable. How do we count this up here? It hasn't taken the top out. Do we put this up here as a B wave up here? That there looks corrective, that there looks impulsive. So still got to come over. Still need to look. This is more looking like a wave 4 here with the move up, but yeah, it's just a bit scruffy, So I don't know if we need to put a B wave up there and come down for the C wave over here as a wave 4, or we need to put wave 4 over yonder here. But I can say, even if it does move up here, I just don't know how far it'll go. But going long above this high, I'd probably go a little bit earlier than that. Actually, I'd look for maybe 68.15 and look to build on that. 68.15, because 5's been the second strongest number there, so it's halfway between 10 and 20 in this case. So a nice classic trading levels pattern on that. Look, waiting for the first high. You could probably move in on the 10, but you just want to be a little bit careful, because if this is going to be bearish, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, and then we're going to have a move back to the 50-60%, and then move down at that point. But it's hard to see. I mean, that's, it's not a high here. I can see 5 waves here. I can see 3. Yeah, I'm not really sure about this, and even if it did pop up here, it wouldn't, I don't think it would be up there for long at this point. So I'd just be very careful at this point. We can still have this as a B wave top here and a C wave to come down here for wave 4, and then have that push up here for the wave 5. I'm just not quite sure how this is going to play out. So just be very careful at that point. CBA here looks all a little bit sort of complicated here, but yeah, there is something going on here. We're either, we can have this as down for 1 here, and A, B, C here, back for 2 here, then down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2, and go crashing down. That's also possible as well. So hopefully that you may have taken profit on this. There might be the move that came down here. You see how it's on lower volume? So the sellers haven't taken control of this yet, but just be a bit careful about it. This big bar here is not buyers, that's also sellers taking profit there as well, coming off the high. But this is, the sellers haven't taken control just yet. There may be another little push up here in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 to push up here, but I wouldn't be pushing it at this point, you know what I mean? I'd be taking what we can get. So I'm going to take that off, because I did mention taking it yesterday, or you may take it, be able to take it today. So we are looking for a top. There can certainly be another little move to the upside as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here coming into that. So we're not ready to short it yet. If we're going to short this, we'd need to have an impulse wave to the downside, and it's just not there just yet, but I'll be looking for that if it's going to play out at this point. But this pattern that I've got here is pretty much in line with the US markets as well. So but I've got the US banks moving up further. So this is Goldman's here just for the sake of it. It doesn't really matter. I can use JP or Bank of America or whatever. So I was looking at this as being a wave 4. I've got the same sort of thing, and it's actually looking quite good as a wave 4, because I've got this A, B and C wave to this point. So I know that this is corrective, so we should be making a new high here. I don't know if this is 1 and 2 here and moving up, or if this is an A and a B and a C wave moving down to here or to here and then moving up. I'm not quite sure about that, but I'm sure that this is an A and a B and a C, and we'll be taking that top out. How far we go to the upside is another little question, but the same thing applies too, you know, that once we've got that high in here, the same as the ASX200, we'll be having that ABC pattern here, and then having another move to the upside there to have a top, to have another top in place, a C wave up here, so an A and a B and a C, and then coming down after that. So we can trade this up here and, you know, play around with it, but being at the end of the trade here, there's not going to be much reward for the risk in all of this, so just be very mindful of what you're doing here. So this will be the same pattern here, so just finishing a bit further to the upside here. We'll just keep an eye on it. We're not ready to, can't short it just yet on this. Over to the resources. So there was a couple of things that we're looking at here, is that well, first of all, if we were looking at this whole move down here as wave A here, because it doesn't count very nicely as wave 1 to the upside here, so we have to go for the A wave here, the B wave here, and then the C wave down here. That would make a new low below wave A, or very close to it. So far we don't have that. It seems to be sticking around the 650, which is, you know, obviously an important level here. And we thought that because I could put this, I could put the A wave up here, the B wave over here, and the C wave over here for a larger B wave over here for this. So that's what I was kind of concerned with, like looking at an A and a B and a C for the B wave. I know China's not doing much at the moment, you know, anyway, I won't go into that, but so this could be finishing off here. But so what I wanted to do was just to give it a little bit of time at the 650. I'm not convinced to go long yet in this. I'm not convinced to go short. I just want to let it, you know, it's arrived down here and a little bit late, but it's doing its bounce, because normally they bounce when they come down. So it's doing its bounce, and let's just see. And, you know, there can be another little push to the upside here as well on that. But still, it won't turn me. That could still come down at that point there, as well as an A and a B and a C wave here and come down. So we need to be a little bit careful. If I get a larger 5 waves up, including this 1 2 1 2 here, 3 4 5, so that would still, I still need another little high here for that, then we can turn bullish on this and look to go long in resources stocks at that point, and we can go long at that point, because we'll go up there somewhere at that point. And we are looking at that, and this is the same for the seaborne one as well. So from Singapore, this same situation here. So it's sitting on 100 here. Sorry about that, let's get the chart in here somewhere. So this 100 here, so is that US dollars or Singapore dollars? I can't remember now. But we could look at it as an A wave, a B wave, 1 2, and then 1 2 3 4 5 here for the third, the fourth, and the fifth tidying up here. I don't know, it's too early to tell, you know, so we're just going to wait. Certainly the trend is down, so don't make no mistake about that, and it's normal to have a bounce off this, but I'm just talking about the possibility of putting this larger B wave over here is viable, and it may not happen, and it probably won't happen, but it's important for me to talk about these things. In the meantime, we're going to be watching the bounce to see if it turns into an impulse wave. If it turns into an impulse wave here, then we'll need to look to go long on some of the stocks in that area. So just moving on from this and looking at BHP here, this is the ADR, the depository note. So we've got from wave B here 1 2 3 4 5, a beautiful 5-wave structure here. So I don't know if we need to call it wave 1 2 3 4 5 and finish off like that. It's probably a little bit unusual, but if it takes that top out there, then I seriously got to kind of consider that. And then based on that, I would also need to have a look at an impulse wave moving up here. So that would be 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5 moving up. So even if we had 5 waves up here, that would be the 1, the 2, and it could just be an ABC pattern and could just fade from here and go down from that point. But if it gives us another one up here and then a little ABC pattern, well, then we can look to go long based on that 5-wave structure here. So we can go long above here. So it's taken that top out, so it's destroyed that particular move down through here. And secondly, we've got an impulse wave here, so we're starting to tick 2 boxes, and then we go long on the B wave here. So that's what that will look like. And over here for this, that means that we would have to shore this up here, put wave 3, 4 for local BHP in here, which I don't like doing this. I don't like sort of forcing things into smaller structures. So it's probably not the case, but we need to wait. That's an impulse wave here, that's corrective, so it will pop up further here for that. But in this case here, if we got support on $40, then we'll go long from that point. Or if I can see a 5-wave structure here, then we can go long at that, you know, we can buy the pullback if we've got a nice 5 waves here. So we're not ready to go yet, but I think it's healthy to talk about it. But yeah, we're still in the downtrend, so that's the main theme. We're getting a bounce, and we're looking at the bounce, and we're thinking, well, what is it, what can it be? And it's still a little bit early, but if we let it mature, that will be fine. We spoke about it with RIO as well. We're looking at a wave 4 here, but if it found support with a classic trading levels pattern on top of 100 and we had a setup, then we'll be forced to go long at that point. So we're not getting the best low here, and I can tell you that it will probably go up further, but the risk reward if it turns is just not there. So it would be just not worth, because it's not just the loss. I mean, the loss, I don't worry about. The thing about losses that bother me is not the actual fact of loss, it's the time it takes to recover that. And also more important for me is my attention span, that I need to focus on something, you know, that may or may not pan out. You know, time's more important than anything else. So yeah, so FMG, it's certainly making a move here. If I had to bet on any of them at this point, and you know, we've been talking about this diminishing ending pattern here, this would be the one, you know. But at the same time too, that looks like a little 4th wave in here. We're expecting that to pop up yesterday, so it'll pop up a little bit further. But what we can wait for is some sort of little ABC back here at some point. So I would guess that that's 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 and 5, and got a bit further to go up into this high, and then it'll pull back, and then if you wanted to, you can go long at that point. We'll have a look at that on the intraday as it develops a little bit further. Okay, over to the energy sector. So this is the US ETF, and it's got some big kahunas in here, so it's always good to keep an eye on this. And so we were looking down at the same sort of thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this. So it counts better as 5 waves than it does as a corrective wave. So as a wave A here, then we'd always had it as an A and a B and a C wave moving up here. So the energy is going to, the stocks at least, are going to move up, and though this one here went for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, so a correction here. So we can expect 3 to 5 days still to come well, 3 or 4 days still to come in this move here. So that will go up. These stocks will go up. So any of our local stocks in that basket will probably track those as well. So that's to the upside. But I am expecting it to turn here and move down at this point. Now, we know that there's a problem with oil and gas in Europe for the coming winter, and the Nord Stream is only operating at 20% or something of that particular nature. You'd have to read that a little bit more. So there is going to be that squeeze on that side of it. So as far as crude oil is concerned, we've got this pattern here as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave down here as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's nothing wrong with that for me. So as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, that could be a low in place here. So that means that the move to the upside here that I've got as wave A here, and I've got it as wave A, B and C based on what those US stocks are doing. So it doesn't really matter at this point. We will just monitor both of them, and we'll have a look at how this C wave here moves to the upside. So yeah, we counted 5 waves up here for wave 1 or wave A, and then we've been looking at an A and a B and a C yesterday with this, and the day before, and so on. And so it's pulled into, you know, kind of where we wanted it to pull into, and in a nutshell that could probably go there as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Anyway, I don't need to sort of argue with that. That's an impulse wave to the upside here, so that should just continue to creep to the upside. How come that's the other ones there? Nine, 7, 20 is the pivot within group 2 there. Close enough. So we've got an impulse wave here, which is good, and then we've got a corrective wave here, so we should take that top out. Kind of think we have already on that, but stochastics is pulling back, which is good. It's only around 5,000 ticks here, so it's kind of half a day. Thing is, here is number 5 here. It's got a nice tested support here. It's just hindsight, but we've got an impulse wave here, and we've got a corrective wave here, so that would have been the entry there, basically speaking. And it's just hindsight's okay to talk about, as long as I don't get into woulda, coulda, shoulda. If it gets into group 2, so this 9,650 here, if that top is taken out, you could probably get a very small position, right, and then look to add on top of the 9,720 and then onto the $98. Okay, this is a CFD product here, so it's to the power of 10. Just notice an impulse pattern of that too. We could look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 here with an A and a B and a C wave here, and then down. So that's going to be, it's going to give us a hard time at the 61.8% anyway, which is going to be right in group 2 and at that old high there. So we've got a lot lined up here. Yeah, I would not overtrade in this space here. It's okay to be long based on what we can see, but the thing is this move, this was a nice impulse wave, but this one here is not really moving off very well. So basically the stop's got to go here at this stage. That should not be breached. If that's breached, then it's over. So just work out your risk reward and work it from that point, and I'll just leave the rest to you. But do not overtrade. Once this area here, once group 2 here becomes the support, then you get another one on top of the get on top here, right? So once that once the 72 or the 98 becomes the tested support, then you can get one, and then you can get another one on top of this one as well. Okay, so if you get one in here, just make sure it's a small position. You could actually technically put the stop here under this one if you had to, because that also looks like an impulse wave to the upside. But you just got to be careful. You don't end up with an A wave, a B wave and a C wave. And the trouble with oil, it can spike a lot when you get onto really small intraday moves. Okay, so wave C here should be roughly the same length as wave A here, so we could look at it like that. I mean, obviously there's a lot more to it, but that will take us up into that space, and that will be our 50-60% area up there. We'll have a look, and we'll look at the speed in which that travels to the upside here. Okay, so the next one is natural gas. So with natural gas here, we've got it's a bit tricky when you get sort of markets like this here, but in a nutshell, it certainly looks like an A and a B, and then dribbling down into a C wave over here. Technically it should take out the top here, but it doesn't have to, because it could just be that so we counted, you know, we could just end up, you could label that wave 1 if you wanted to, and wave 2 coming back, and 3, but I just thought it'd be safer because of all this particular behavior here. You know how it goes up to here and then comes back again, and it's a very sort of supply demand resolve situation with this market. So we do have 5 waves here. So, you know, I was looking that we had an A wave up here, you know, just being conservative about it. The move down through here counted as 5 waves. So I thought, well, we could have that as an A wave here and coming back up for the B wave and then coming down for the C wave here. The 61.8% would be around there. So I was thinking of an A and a B and a C wave here. So we know that Europe's got a problem with the gas situation. So, and crude's going to go up. So maybe, you know, I've gone over this. I still count 5 waves in here. If anybody's got any different, we'll go and have a look at this again. But so I was, you know, just originally thinking that we'll look at this as the A wave. It was pretty clear to me there's 5 waves, and then we'll come down here for this, you know. Maybe the US will supply, you know, I don't know what price shale comes in that's worthwhile, at what price point. I'm not an expert in that, but or anything else like that, but that's what I was thinking in terms of patterns. But look, obviously I think I might have this wrong, but I can't see where I've gone wrong in the 5 waves down here. And the B wave goes here, and we go, we know we make a new high up there, you know. So yes, it's a little bit tricky. So we'll just check on the daily here somewhere. Yeah, it just looked okay as 5 waves down here, and it still may. It's just gone. The 61.8% was at the 8,000, the $8 rather, and the 78.6, the square root of 61.8% was a little bit higher, so we're targeting a little bit higher up here. We still should get some sort of pattern here, like the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. Let's just, I think we're on 2K and 100, so let's go in here, 2,000 ticks. So counting up here as an ABC, I can remove those, but I'll keep those over here. So looking at, I'll put the low over here, so that will make this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. That makes that nice, and then that makes that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up there. So all that's good. So the A wave, the B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then the extension in the 5th wave, because commodities tend to extend in the 5th wave rather than the 3rd wave, where stocks can basically extend in the 3rd wave. So it's okay to, you know, it's quite natural to do that. So I've just got this 1 degree higher. I've got it as cycle degree, primary and primary here. So yeah, I mean, but otherwise I'm going to have to look at putting this here as, you know, if we go too much higher, then we'll have to look at this as 1 and 2 here, and look at this as the 3rd wave. I know we traded some of this, but we just missed out on a whack of it as well, which is a really bit disappointing. Let me just have a look on the 100 to see what I've updated and haven't. Okay, so I still need to do work on this. So I had 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. I have to put all that in 3rd. Look at that as the 4th over here. Then look at that. But that's all going to be. That's all going to extend here, and I'm going to have to put that here, unless that's going to be a 4th. I can't do that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do it that way, but that's not going to push that, is it? So I have to push that there. No, it's not going to work. That has to go there. That has to go there. So we've still got further. This is my target area here, and we're going to exceed that. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd. I still have to push this up here to the 4th. I don't need that. Put that there. You know, it's just really high, you know. It kind of really needs to go there too, based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still, it looks like a B wave here, an A and a B and a C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's okay. Yeah, it looks like it just wants to go higher in all of this, you know. How's our gas stocks? Have they moved up? So Santos hasn't moved up. In fact, it's moved down. And WDS, that hasn't even moved as well. I don't understand that relationship there for that, really. I haven't got time to ponder on that. But I don't see I haven't seen a trade set up here, so I can't move. You know, you think we'd be going long in these because it's moving, but it's just not. So I don't. I know stocks are different than commodities, a different edge. Gold down, wave 3, 4, and 5 for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So I see GDX moving down. So I don't see a problem with that, and be it made up on stocks, that means that, you know, Barrick Gold and Newcrest Mining and those all those in that sync will be in that same pattern here for that. When we come to US spot gold, as I talked about, it's possible from wave B here to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down for 5 and have a low in place here. So that's a little bit different as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. This could play this wave 4 here. If this is an A and a B and a C wave here, then that 4 will go there. So what I could say here is that what I can see with GDX, we should be coming down. But if this top here gets breached, then we'll need to look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here with an A and a B and a C. So we'll need to go long above that top, and that will put us long above group 1 as well. So that's group 1 there. So a classic trading levels pattern sitting on 1730 would put us long, would put us against the other markets. But I don't see any problem with wave B. You know, there's much the same as crude here, and getting the turn on the US dollar is also good as well. So we'll have a bit of a look at that in a moment as well. So that with Newcrest here, we could put wave 4 here, or we could put wave 4 over here. If Newcrest takes a low out here today, if that makes a new low here, that push up there was on lower volume than the previous day. So when a market moves on lower volume against the trend, then it's corrective. So that move up is probably corrective, and we could probably put wave 4 in here, but I'm just not quite sure yet. One more move below here, and then we could put that in here. You'll be looking at 1650. There will be another little bounce off the 18 here for this as well. Very small wave 4, but all of these corrections have been very tight of 1 or 2 days. So having a 4-day correction here would be, or is that 3 days, would probably do the trick. You know, if you're shorting this market, I would stay short unless the 20 became the tested support. That would be the next logical step to take. Over to the US dollar here. So what we're looking at here with all of this, as you may know, if we go to the weekly chart or the monthly chart, either's good. I thought I'll just have a look at the monthly here. I thought I had that played out a bit further. Okay, a bit better here. So we've got 1 here and 2 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, and ABC for the 4th. So we're going from the 4th to the 5th. We're trying to understand if that's the top. Because if that's the top, well, then we'll be looking at an ABC correction coming into play across this level here, which would be all the right things: the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC correction, and then pushing up at that point. So is that complete? That's what I'm trying to sort of figure out. I think that it is, and we're still just waiting for a little bit more sort of info on that. So just cutting through to the daily chart. So from this wave 4 here, we've got 1 and 2, and then looking at this as 3 and 4 here, and then going up for 5. I could extend this out further and put wave 5 up here by the buy. I'm not that happy with this particular wave 4. It was a bit simplistic. If wave 2 is simple, then wave 4 should be complex, and it was even simpler than wave 2. So I've got a few problems, and this other problem here of a very small wave 1 here. and 2 is okay. The 3, 4 is nice. I prefer to put wave 1 here and 2 here, and have 3, 4 here, but we're so close to running overlapping on wave 1. If I put this as wave 4 here, still possible. I haven't thrown it out yet, so I'm basically trying to confirm if we've got a top in here. That's what I'm trying to do. And the move down seems a bit impulsive, and that's the way we've been, you know, mucking around with it. So from the top here, in that nutshell, I've counted down here as 1 and 2, and I felt like I've done all the right counting in here, and it's left me with wave 3 here. And then I've been trying to figure out this, so I'm not much any better off at this stage with it. So if I have wave 3 here, first of all, we can have this as wave A here or wave 1 here. If it's the top of the market, then it's wave 1, but I still need to keep it as wave A because I don't want to call the top of the market in unless I'm sure. So I need to gather more evidence for that, but at the same time we can play it towards that and also look for trades based on that as well. But I could only count 1, 2 here and coming down for 3 here, and then I was looking for 38.2% retracement level, so I'm going to call that in here with the A wave here, and then the B wave and the C wave here for this. And then I'm thinking about this as being wave 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4 and 5 here. Now that could work to bring me down for wave 5 of 1 of A, so basically wave 4 here and then down to here. I could also put wave 4 here and then put this wave 5 here as well, but I just want to see if we make another little move down here. If we make another little move down here and then we move up from that point, then we can look at this as being 1 and 2 here, and then we'll see this as an A and a B and a C wave here, and then we can look to short coming down here and being long in the euro and the long on the Aussie and all that sort of stuff, right? So I need to resolve this. At the same time, I need to be careful if this is wave 1 over here and I've just made a mistake and I can't see it, wave 1 and wave 2 here on this one here that only pulled back up not even 40% when it should come back 50 or 60, but even so I just need to keep an eye on that. If it comes down further, say below the 10,550 area here, well then we'll start looking to short under the 10.5 here. We'll start looking for short trade setups in here. I don't want to short at the moment because I still got this other particular count going on through here, so I haven't resolved it yet. For this move to move up here to be wave an A and a B and a C wave for 2 or B, calling the low in here, I don't need to make another low here. I could use that low, but we do need to move across this trend line through here. So if we do move across that, then you know that we've started it at that point. So we either move across the trend line and we do that, or we come down, get a bounce off here, then move across the trend line, or we just keep coming down, and then we need to look for trade setups on the short side for this, because this will be a series of 1s and 2s and 1s and 2s and 1s and 2s coming down into a bigger third wave, and we'll need to be on that for the euro on the long side and also the Australian as well. So I'm trying to figure out if we've got a wave 1 low in the other markets. Is it going to, we're going to in the US dollar, the opposite here, do we have wave 1 here, or do we have wave 1 up here for this? So I think there's a little bit more to go here for this. So as 1 and 2 and 3 here, we're in some sort of little wave 4 here, and then wave 5 to the upside here to have that in. So that could give us the low that I'm looking for in the US dollar, and also the top here for this. So look, if you've got any of these positions in here or whatever, look to, you know, once we take out that top at 70, look to lock those in. And then we could look for an ABC coming back into this market here as the US. This is where the US dollar will be doing its ABC as well, and we'll look for it here. And then once we get past this here, then once we get this, if we get this if we get this ABC here, then we can have a really nice trade going up through here. You know, that will be the thing. it'll be a nice third wave, and there'll be the same for the euro, and the opposite for the US dollar. So I need things to fall into place. You know, every trend has got a beginning, a middle, and end, and I think we're at the end of this trend. This little move here appears to be, you probably get 5 waves out of that here, but and that would leave that with 3 waves, so we still need to get that other high here. But yeah, anyway, still more work to be done here. We've just been doing little part trades, so nothing important at this point. But yeah, look, don't need that now. Don't need that. So yeah, that's sort of where we are at the moment. I need to confirm some sort of correction. So then, you know, even once we've got this correction, then we need to find a way in at that point. So we can build in small here, and you know, we'll be putting in positions all the way through here for that, if it's going to be the case, you know. So in a nutshell, we can be looking at 70 cents. We could be looking at a bullish classic trading levels pattern like this. So we'll be looking to go long over here, or building in from these lows here and building in this side of the trend. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.